My loved ones, welcome back to my channel. So I am going to start a new series called Dupe It Up, and I'm going to bring you guys dupes of palettes that are probably are sold out or that are very popular, so you can spend less money on the dupe palette instead of the higher end palette. So first we're going to start off with the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I found a dupe for the Jaclyn Hill palette. So I have the original palette, which looks like this, and you can purchase this palette off of Morphe website for $32, and you could tell it's the original because it has the names of the eyeshadows on the back of the palette. There are 35 colors in this palette, and this is what it looks like. Very gorgeous colors. I really love this palette. I used this palette, I want to say, about 4 times, and I love the colors because it has all these warm tones up here, and it also has a pop of color up in this eyeshadow palette. So I did find a dupe for this palette just in case you guys didn't want to spend a whopping $32 to $38 on this palette. I found a palette on Amazon that you could pay $10 for, and it is from Beauty Glaze, which look like this, and it's called Impress You, and the packaging is so pretty. It is a little smaller than the Jaclyn Hill palette, and the Jaclyn Hill palette is white and the Beauty Glaze palette is silver. And it is the packaging is similar. It has the cardboard packaging with the magnetic closure. And these are the colors in the Beauty Glaze palette, which are similar to the Jaclyn Hill palette. The colors are super similar. So I'm going to go ahead and put them side by side so you guys could see the actual dupe of this palette. Okay, so the top is the Beauty Glaze palette, the bottom is the Jaclyn Hill palette. Okay, so I am going to do a couple of swatches on this palette. So first we're going to go ahead and take, I want to say we're going to take the second row, this color. There's a lot of similarities, but it's not the exact same because the colors aren't in the same place as the Jaclyn Hill palette. As you can see, the bottom has like some greens on the Jaclyn Hill palette, but on here you see that the greens are in the 4th row instead of the 5th row. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the swatches of 3 of the greens. Okay, so for the Jaclyn Hill palette, we're going to take the color, it is called Diva. There's no names on the Beauty Glaze palette, so we're going to take Diva, swatch it on hand. And then we're going to take the color in the Beauty Glaze palette that is similar to Diva. And the one in the Beauty Glaze palette is a little more green, and the one in the Jaclyn Hill palette is a little more olive. So now we're going to take the matte green in the Jaclyn Hill palette, which is called Jada. Which is super pigmented. So now we're going to take the green out of the Beauty Glaze palette. Like I said, there's no names. And it is a tad bit lighter than the Jaclyn Hill palette. So now we're going to take the other green, which is called Pool Party. Okay, this is the Jaclyn Hill's Pool Party. And now we're going to take the Beauty Glaze eyeshadow in, and they are super similar. So instead of buying the Jaclyn Hill palette, you could go ahead and purchase the Beauty Glaze palette. The eyeshadows are super pigmented. The order of the eyeshadows is not the same of the Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe, but they are super similar. Okay, so I just want to bring you guys that video so you could go ahead and purchase you the Beauty Glaze palette. I purchased mine on Amazon. I do have Prime, so it shipped to me within 1 day, or sometimes I could get the palettes in the same day. So I just wanted to show you guys that video. So if you do not want to purchase the Jaclyn Hill palette, you could definitely get the Beauty Glaze palette. I think the quality of the eyeshadows are very similar to each other. The Jaclyn Hill do blend out a little better than the Beauty Glaze palette, but the pigmentation of the eyeshadows are superb. So if you want to go ahead and purchase that palette, go ahead and check on Amazon and pick up your palette today. So thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to please rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys real soon. Bye.